Hey guys, how are you? Rose Quartz 728. What are you guys up to? I'm like chilling out here. I was just sitting in this parking lot and I was watching videos and trying to decide what I was going to make my video about today. And what I'm going to talk about today is truth and lies. And it's insane. Like I can't get over it, but I feel like so many times we're trying to get the truth, to the bottom of things, to understand, declassify, all that stuff. And do we ever really know if we ever found out the truth? You know what I mean? And everything, I feel like everything, no matter what, JFK or whatever, like current event you're following, storming the Capitol, whatever it is, it doesn't even matter. How do you know that you got to the truth? Because it's all a big game of that telephone, right? Do you remember telephone with children? You'd be like, hey, and you whisper something, and by the time it gets around through 25 people, it's a different story. And then you realize that everybody's got their own take on everything. So perspective is, for me, it's what I see, hear, feel, and believe. And that's different for everybody, you guys. Like, do you guys understand this? Like, I think that's the hardest thing in the world for people. And to break it down even further, like at work, I train people to make sandwiches and stuff. It's not hard, right? But I'll train them but how do you train someone to not put too much or not too little? Like, it's the hardest thing to train people. So you always got to understand what they like and what they don't like. And if they hate mustard, they're going to go lighter on the mustard. Promise you. And if they love mustard, they're going to go crazy with it. Like, I love mayo. And if you want me to make your sandwich with mayo on it, I'm not being shy because I love mayo. If you say heavy mayo, I gotcha. I'll put extra. But mayo, I'm not putting it light. So if you want it light with me, you better say light mayo. So anyway, teaching people that, it's very interesting, but you have to understand each personal perspective to teach them how to make it for the masses, if that makes sense. It's difficult. It's not easy. I sometimes am pulling my hair out, but you have to get into a person's head, understand their perspective, and teach them the perspective of the general public, if that makes sense. So how do we ever get to the bottom of things, the truth of things, if there's always a different perspective and all the information is skewed and everything is digital now? Like, I wish I had a Encyclopedia Britannica set. Like, if I see one at a yard sale, I'm buying it. Because how do we know even what's real anymore? Even books. Like, is this a simulation, guys? What is going on? If it's not a simulation, what is it? Is it reality? Or is it a simulation about reality? And what's reality, right? So I'm losing my mind. I was watching this video about his name is Robert Force. And I might be saying that totally wrong. He's got some cool videos. Oh my God, they make me think. My head is, he's talking about natural energy sources, stuff we can do for cars and stuff like that, magnetic motors and stuff like that. And I was blown away. The Nikola Tesla stuff blows my mind. I can't believe it. But will we ever know the truth? Are we ever going to know the truth, guys? Is that ever going to happen with anything? Or are we just doomed to chase our tail? Round and round and round and round and round. What's going to happen, right? What's next? What's next, guys? And that's always, I think, what people are feeling these days. We never get enough time to feel comfortable. And just when we do, it's they pull the rug out. And so many things, just things that frustrate you day to day to pull your energy out of you. And, oh, will we ever know the truth about JFK? Well, at this point, honey, I'm going to tell you, I just don't even care. I'm sorry, JFK and the family involved, but it's just beyond. It's beyond, okay? They're never going to release it. It's always going to be a game. They said there was more than one shooter, and then now they say they're redacting a bunch of stuff. I have no idea what's going on. And I feel like most people feel this way. Don't you feel this way? Do you feel this way? What is real? Like, I don't even know, because half the time they tell me the story and then 2 days later it's different. And I'm like, why do I even pay attention to the news? Because it's just going to change. So this stuff is rough, like living life today, guys, is rough. And then they're like, oh, well, there's this dispensary on every corner, and oh, here's a bar every 3 feet. So like, why are you coming to me with these problems? I feel like that's what the government thinks. Like, why are you coming to me with these problems? We've given you everything you wanted. I don't know. It's just a grind, guys. It's a grind, right? Florida grind. I'm going to Made of Steel again in May. He should be there too. It's a badass show. I love that show. Can't wait. Hoping to have more crew with me possibly, so I can take video. Like more, I don't know. I need to be able to take video. So I think I'm going to be more slacker or whatever. The problem is they always have so much music going on in that festival that I can't get good footage unless I mute everything. Like, they won't let you post anything. Like, that's what I ran into last year. I got a lot of content strike shit, and I don't need that. So anyway, that's another thing. So content strikes. All right. You want me to pay the guy that owns that song a little bit? Why don't you negotiate with me and talk to me about it? Like, I'm down for that. Like, but you don't give me the option. Talk about truth, right? Like, give me the option to negotiate with these artists. Or should I do this ahead of time? Like, contact them ahead of time? Because I don't even think about it when it's in the background, so quiet you can barely hear it. But YouTube sure does, because YouTube uses AI and bots and stuff to go through their music. And anyway, I'm looking for music too. If anybody wants to sell music to me, I'm looking to buy music for an intro. I need to make an intro. I don't feel like it's awkward. I hate intros. I hate wasting time on an intro. I digress. So, truth, will we ever find it? Do you dig, and then you realize the rabbit hole never ends? Oops. You're never getting out of this. Surprise. I don't know. That's what I think it is. Like, you think you're getting out, and then you're like, surprise, it gets worse. You're here forever. Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't think we're supposed to know. I'm just trying to embrace it, okay? People always say to me, today's Friday, but people always say to me on Monday, they're like, oh, I love Mondays. And I'm like, I love Mondays. I love Mondays. Because I feel like if you embrace the bad, then the good is even better. Just embrace the bad. Like, embrace it. This is great. Does it hurt to do that sometimes? Yeah, guys. But embrace it. Try it. Try embracing what friggin' sucks. Be like, oh, thank you. May I have another? Seriously, guys. Seriously. Try it for like 1 week. Then try it for 30 days. And just like, tell me how your life has changed. Come back to this video and tell me how your life has changed. So like, just try to embrace everything that sucks. And just be like, oh man, like, well, at least I'm alive. At least I get to make my own choices most of the time. Just embrace what you have. Embrace the good stuff, right? We may never know the truth. Just embrace what you have. Stay small in your small circles. Understand what's real. Know what's real in your life. How do you connect to that? I don't know. Like, I like to make it a joke, and I like to make these videos and stuff, but is it really a joke? For some people, this is rough. For some days, for me, it's rough. But what's real? What is real? Well, I have to go to work. I have to pay the bills. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do the dishes. I have to clean the house. I have to make sure my car is in working order. I have to plan ahead. I have to get my kids to school. I have all these things, but that's, I guess, my reality is my routine. And so we grow up learning a routine, right? You wake up and brush your teeth. Then you get ready for your day, and you get dressed, and you go out and have your day, and then you come back, you have some dinner, and then you take a shower and go to bed. And it's like this cycle. That's what gets you through this, right? What if we didn't have that cycle? What would happen? What would happen if we didn't have that cycle? Like, it would really freak the world out. I'm about to have a kid graduate very soon from high school, and so I'm going to go through a phase where I don't have to drive him everywhere he goes. And that'll be great. But it's kind of scary too. Scary, guys. Scary. Now he has to do his own life. I'm scared. So, I don't know. Your routine is your life. And like, that's what we learn, and we adapt and we create it to make sure that we get all that we need to get done and all that, and we're comfortable and we're happy, and we get all our basic needs met and stuff, and we usually partner up with someone, either male or female or whatever. Sometimes it's multiple poly peoples, and we meet up and we live this life together, and we both get through it, or we all get through it, and it's interesting. It's really interesting. Like, I always think about the ant farm. Shake the ant farm. Shake the ant farm. Like, that's when your routine goes haywire. You're like, okay, so think about daylight savings times. We just had that. Like, oh my God, I can't get out of bed to save my life. So I guess I got to go to bed early. I was thinking for April, I'm going to get up every day at 5 a.m. See what happens to me. Let's see what happens. Okay, guys? This is an experiment, and I'm going to keep going. So, I don't know. I'm going to interview Robert, the Truth Meister. That's what I'm going to call him. And I'm going to introduce him on one of my lives on Tuesday at 5. So, you got to watch for that. Guys, thank you so much. Love you all.